There is no better gift than opening your heart to the people in your life. It sounds cheesy, but it's true. So on this Valentine's Day, we wanted to share ways to open your heart and make room for the love and the joy in your life. Tiffany Peterson is a life coach, and she's joining me with strategies to help us all practice this way of life, living with a more open heart. It's always great to see you. I know you're coming at this topic with a particularly tender heart, and it's one of those that it's a big topic. It's big, and we're going to sit here and chat over it for a few minutes, but this is a life-searching principle that we're really discussing.
Well, like I was sharing with you, this is the first copy in years that when I was writing it and preparing that I actually got emotional and I was choked up, is because the realness of this, right? The realness of being human sometimes is not easy, right? And all the things that we face and so forth. So I definitely am feeling this one.
How would you define, Tiffany, a closed heart versus an open heart? What are the differences?
Well, I think obviously as humans, we all have the temptation we were just talking about to close our hearts, right? At some point, every single one of us, whether it's through a loss of any kind, a betrayal, hurt feelings, you feel left out, you feel rejected, you got let go from the job, you know, the relationship didn't work out, there's someone that's gossiped about you. I mean, there's all sorts of examples of why it would be easy and understandable to keep our hearts closed. However, like, this came up for me. I went to my Facebook feed and asked them for their feedback on this segment and this topic about an open heart. What helps you keep an open heart? And one comment that was really shifted my thinking was that a lot of times a broken heart isn't so we'll close it. A broken heart breaks us open. And to be more open, right? And the reality of part of living fully engaged in this life versus numbed out is that you will at times experience pain. If you're playing life with your real authentic self, which hopefully we are, right? Because the trade-off is living anything less than that, is this like numbed out, less than existence, is that you're going to feel the joy and the pain together.
So, I mean, as beautiful as it sounds to live life with an open heart, that doesn't necessarily mean a happy heart or a happy life all of the time. That can bring the pain.
Yes, absolutely. And so it's just being aware of that, Brooke, that you know, it is about that we become first and foremost intentional, I think, is what kind of life do you want to live? And being intentional about, I'm going to have an open heart, right? And that is indeed a choice. You don't have to live life with an open heart. There's just trade-offs, though. To a closed heart, the trade-offs of disconnection, maybe loneliness and so forth, versus choosing in to say, I'm going to live more open-heartedly. Now, I think it's important that we are aware that it's a practice. It's not something we do once and it's done.
I'm glad you said that. Once the gates of our heart are open, they're not open for good. It's a lifelong pursuit.
Yes.
I agree with that. I agree with that. What keeps us motivated, though, do you think, to continue and pursue those open heart gates?
Well, I think the motivation of just, again, truly of seeing what kind of life do I want to lead and what kind of experiences do I want to have in this earth life, right? In this skin suit. I think one of the ways or some things that have helped me or help others navigate this and actually do it is one is learning how to trust yourself, right? We often make it about, do I trust other people if we've been hurt, which we all have at some point. You don't get to this point of life without at least something. And it's learning though to trust yourself, is that you discover your own voice, your own heart, tuning into that and learning what we would call perhaps healthy boundaries, right? Is that you're still aware to take care of yourself in a way. An open heart doesn't mean there's not still discernment. And I think that's really an important piece.
Well, you say our relationship goals should honor our own heart. And that speaks to, I think, the boundaries that you're helping us set.
Right. I think about honoring your heart and two thoughts come up. One is the self-trust, right? I think self-trust is the key of anything really moving forward in our lives in a positive way. And secondly would be the self-love, right? And by self-love, that can also be called self-care, or that we show up for ourselves more gently and more tenderly, is rather than often we come into this world where other people have to choose to help take care of us, right, to survive. And so a lot of times we're often hoping that other people will show up for us. Will you validate me? Will you love me? Will you show up for me? And while it's great to have thriving relationships, it's looking first and foremost, do I have a thriving relationship with me? Do I show up for me? Do I have my own back? And do I choose to show up in a way where I'm going to take better care of me, mentally, emotionally, and physically, rather than hoping, wishing, waiting that my worth or my value or my needs are always in the hands of someone else, right?
You hit on a word that kind of grabbed my attention, and that is grudge. You mentioned a grudge that can cause our heart to kind of close in. Is it possible to have an open heart without that layer or that level of forgiveness in the end?
Oh, this is such real and juicy work, right? I've been reading this incredible book by Gabby Bernstein called The Judgment Detox. And one of the most incredible conversations she's having there is we often believe we're holding on to a grudge or judgment to keep ourselves safe. It keeps us in control at some level, we believe, right? But holding on to a grudge is just like carrying around the rocks, right? Now, I'm not saying there are some people that probably shouldn't be in your life, meaning that it doesn't mean that an open heart or forgiveness means that everyone still gets to continue to sit at the table. It just means that energetically you're choosing to forgive others, forgive yourself, that you're releasing that energy. It's been said that forgiveness is the gift you give yourself, right? And as cheesy or cute or cliche as that might sound,
I believe it.
It's really true, is that you free yourself with forgiveness.
Tiffany, this is a wonderful topic. You're the person to take it on for us.
Oh.
And there's so much more we could talk
Imperfectly, for sure, but
dive into.
Committed.
Where can we get more insight from you?
My website is tiffanyspeaks.com or Instagram is Tiff Peterson.
Thanks for sharing your open heart.
Thanks,
We
love.
appreciate it.